Year 1 team, and we are going to give you a tour of our classrooms and a look at what we've been learning in Year 1 this term. We're really sad we can't have you in here on a regular basis and you're not here seeing it all for yourselves. We know it's not as good as the real thing, but we hope it will give you a bit of a taster of what happens in dragonflies and butterflies on a daily basis. So I'm going to start by giving you a tour of the classroom and showing you what we've been learning today. Okay, so welcome to our rocket. The children read a story about Mae Jemison, who we've been learning about, who was an astronaut who went to space, and they decided, like the little child in the story, that they wanted to make a spaceship, a rocket, to go into space. So they made the front of it, and they made some jetpacks that they like to put on their backs and run around outside with. They drew the view from space, and we've been learning about the continents. So they drew some of the different continents. They were talking about what continents they could see from space on Earth. We've got our control panel with lots of very important buttons. This week we've been making different planets and moons and stars that you might see if you're flying around in space. We have been exploring planet Earth, which is our topic, and we've been looking at all the different continents on planet Earth and the oceans. This is some of our artwork. Here's some more artwork from our book Bee Goo. We were drawing Bee Goo's planet. Over here on the English table this week, we are thinking about asking questions. We've been looking at atlases to find out about different countries. And on each, we've been working in groups on this table, having a look at the picture, different picture from each continent, and then writing some questions. Over here on the maths table, we've been working in pairs. We've been having fun. We've been using our stamps. And one partner has to do some stamps. So one partner does 7 stamps, and then their cheeky partner crosses out some of their stamps. So this partner crossed out 5 of the stamps, and then they talked about how many they started with, how many have been crossed out, and how many they have now. So we've been practicing our subtraction. You can see over here, this is the art table, which is looking a bit empty right now because all of the artwork is now hanging up in our roleplay corner, all the planets. This is the English job tomorrow, which is going to be writing a list of everything that the children would like to have for the party tomorrow. Very important thing to write. This is my guided table. So each classroom has a guided table where there's a group working with the teacher. And this is, we're learning about subtraction. We've been doing it with toys. Again, we've been having some very cheeky children who come and steal a certain number of toys, and we work out how many we had at the beginning, how many were taken away, and how many we have now. Up here so that you can see some of the art that we've been doing. This is our book corner, where we come and do some nice reading. Our kindness tree, where we've been writing kind things that we do. We've been talking about for Anti-Bullying Week. And now, Hattie, I'm going to pass over to Hattie.
Hi!
And she's going to talk you through some of the other stuff we've been learning this term.
Thanks, Becca. Okay, so starting off with phonics, we do a daily phonics session where we've been working on recapping some of the sounds from reception, which children have done really, really well in. And we're moving on to slightly trickier sounds, which include digraphs, so that's 2 letters that make 1 sound. And yeah, as well as thinking of all the words that we can imagine with that sound in, we're also practicing writing lots of sentences to include those sounds, as you can see here. So that's daily practice of writing sentences with capital letters and full stops as well as practicing our phonics knowledge. And in English, we have, as Becca mentioned, been reading about Mae Jemison. And inspired by those stories, we have done a lot of work in our literacy books, ranging from labelling, you can see this lovely rocket here, and writing lists. So we try to imagine what an astronaut might need in space, and created a shopping list, and also trying to imagine what we might want to be when we're older. So some people did say astronauts like Mae Jemison, and some people said things like ballerinas and various other things. So yeah, a focus has been in English, writing full sentences with capital letters at the beginning, full stops at the end, and also question marks, as Becca mentioned. In maths, we've been doing lots of work on addition, finding two parts and the whole, and writing number sentences. And we've moved on to subtraction now, and we're focusing lots on using part-whole models, which children are getting really good at. So coming through to the butterflies classroom, you can see we've got lots of phonic sounds that we've been learning. We've got our growth mindset, where children talked about the kinds of attitudes that they need to have in their learning to make sure that they're successful and they grow their minds, and yeah, change their attitude from thinking it's too hard, I can't do it, to I'll give it a go, and I'll improve myself and what I can do. We've also got our maths meeting over here, which is something we try and do every day. So we talk about the days of the week, months of the year, practice our counting, and here's another part-whole model, which I mentioned before. So we think about a number and the way that it could be split into different parts. And this is our class charter, which we made at the beginning of the year, where we thought about the kinds of things that we need to do in school to be kind to each other and to keep each other safe. Back to Becca now.
Okay, so I'm going to talk you through some of the details of year one that you might want to know. The big skills that you can do at home, which would be really handy, is having a practice of handwriting. We're going to send home a little pack for you for maybe Thursday, maybe Monday. You're going to send home, this is something, I wouldn't recommend writing on the sheet. I would recommend sticking this up on the wall. This is how you form the capital and the lowercase letters. So if you stick that up on your wall at home somewhere, and just get the children to practice, just 5 minutes every day practicing. So when they're so little and they're just learning that for the first time, it's really hard to remember how to form the letters. And if you're spending all of your time thinking about how to form the letters, then you forget what you're even trying to write. So once they can really form those letters properly, it makes writing a lot easier for them. Another thing that would be great to be doing at home, making sure you're doing every day, is the reading. We have a reading diary that we're going to be sending home with you to record all the lovely reading you're doing. So on one side of it, you will have, this is the daily reading. So year one, home to school, daily reading diary. So here, you can write the book that you're reading every day, okay? So even if it's on reading eggs, or if it's a real book, just writing the title of the book and a comment. So maybe Hattie found some tricky words, but she persevered. Or Robin sounded all the words out and really enjoyed reading about cats. So then that becomes in every day. And it's basically, we were kind of avoiding doing this for COVID reasons, because it's just in and out every day. But actually, we're just finding that not having that daily record and that daily kind of focus on reading it's just not helpful for the kids. Like, they need it so much. So we've decided that we're going to resurrect the daily reading record, because children reading is more important. On the back, you will have the weekly reading diary. So you flip it round, and each week, so we've got a glossary that explains different parts of reading that we might talk about. And then each week we focus on a different skill in guided reading. So this will come and a different topic will be highlighted. For example, like we might highlight recite the rhyme or poem by heart, and then you know that's the skill that you need to do with the children. And we'll say whether you need to read it to your child, with your child, or whether your child reads it to you. And then you have a section for the child's comment, and you have a section for your comment too. So that happens once a week with the guided reading books, okay? What else do we want to talk about? A fun thing we're doing at the moment is counting to 100. That's a really good thing. I think actually maybe should we send us 100 square home with them tomorrow, Hattie?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll send 100 square home to you tomorrow, which is one of these. It's a square with 100 numbers, and it helps the children. They practice counting to 100, and having that visually makes it much, much easier for them. We're also sending home some concentration games. We have found that this year, it's been a big break. It was a big break for them not being in reception, and we're finding that generally as a year group, they're struggling with the concentration. So we've got some 8 fun games for you to play at home and just develop those skills at home. It'll be amazing if you can do that at home as well as us doing it in school. What else? Yeah, so basically the concentration was a big thing. It's a big thing that we're looking at as a year group. Also just developing their resilience and independence, which is what is always the focus at this age. We do lots of stuff about growth mindset and like challenging ourselves and making sure that we're making mistakes because it means we're learning. They have independent jobs, so we're making sure that they take responsibility, they make sure they go and do their jobs. Those are the big skills really. Did I miss anything else, Hattie?
No, I think that's pretty thorough. It covers it.
Cool. So if there's anything we've missed off or there's anything that you don't understand, please just ask us on Friday. We're looking forward to seeing you all, or not seeing you, we're going to call you, not Zoom, but on a phone call. It will be a withheld number, so be ready for a withheld number to call you on Friday. And we're really looking forward to finally chatting.
Yeah.